Good evening and welcome to the graduation ceremony of the Foran High School class of 2020. Please stand for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Before we begin the festivities, I need to briefly review some housekeeping items. Please wear your masks throughout the ceremony and while you're on campus. Maintain 6 feet social distancing and please remain seated throughout graduation. Thank you for helping us keep everyone safe. Good evening and welcome Superintendent Dr. Kataya, Assistant Superintendent Dr. Fedigan, Chief Operations Officer Mr. Riccitelli, and other distinguished members of Central Administration, Chairman of the Milford Board of Education, Ms. Glennon, as well as other Board of Education members, one of whom is here tonight, Ms. McDonough Souza. Thank you for being here. Mayor Blake, members of the Board of Aldermen, parents, grandparents, faculty, but most importantly, the graduates of the class of 2020. I welcome all of you to our graduation ceremony tonight. Before we begin honoring our graduates, I'd like to recognize the contributions of some other individuals who are key to our students' success. Assistant Principal Dr. Goleski and our Dean of Students, Mr. Zawazinski. Thank you for all of your work in support of our students. I'd also like to say a special thank you to Assistant Principal Mr. Scott, who was recently named the new principal of Torrington Middle School. I want to thank him for his good work this past year, and we wish him well in his new position. Thank you very much, Mr. Scott. Also, thank you to our senior class advisors, Ms. DeFonso and Mrs. Newell, for all of their support of our senior students. And of course, the success of our students is largely due to all of the amazing faculty and staff at Foran High School. Thank you to our entire faculty and staff for your never-ending commitment and support to our students. I'm very fortunate and honored to work with such dedicated individuals. I'd also like to recognize our Teacher of the Year, Mr. Tupka, who always goes above and beyond for his students and colleagues. Thank you, he deserves that. He's such an important part of our school community, and I want to thank him for his outstanding commitment to our students and the entire school community. Additionally, we have some foreign faculty who are retiring after many years of service to the Milford Public Schools. Mrs. Pellegrino, Mrs. Tummins, Mrs. Lavery, and Mr. Turtola are all retiring. We thank them for everything and wish them a very happy and healthy retirement. In this very unique and daunting year we are living through, I also think it's important to say a big thank you to all the healthcare workers in the audience today and throughout our community. Your dedication to your profession and your work during this pandemic has been nothing short of heroic. Thank you so much for all that you do. And at this time, I'd like to ask the Assistant Superintendent of Milford Public Schools, Dr. Amy Fedigan, to speak to our graduates and recognize the accomplishments of our valedictorian and salutatorian. On behalf of the students and faculty of Foran High School, I want to thank Dr. Fedigan for her dedication and support of the entire Foran community. And now the Assistant Superintendent of Milford Public Schools, Dr. Fettigan.
Thank you, Mr. Berkowitz. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to our families here to celebrate tonight these very special graduates. I'm glad the weather has cooperated. I hoped for that all day. It is my great honor and privilege to be with you all as we celebrate this very special graduation ceremony this evening. Traditionally, our superintendent of schools, Dr. Anna Kutaya, delivers the commencement remarks to our graduating classes each year. But given the unusual circumstances of 2020, however, we actually have multiple graduation ceremonies happening at the same time this evening. And so as a result, I am so pleased to be here tonight to deliver these remarks on Dr. Kutaya's behalf. As a nod to the obvious, our ceremony surely is irregular this evening, and it may not feel like the graduations we are used to. But rest assured, as a member of the class of 2020, each of you, along with your 200-plus classmates, will forever remain connected and intact as the graduating class that endured a great challenge, apart but together. In preparing my remarks for this evening, I thought about this unique characteristic, apart but together. What an unusual pair of terms to describe something that is so beyond description. Apart, meaning two or more people or things separated by distance, and together with or in proximity to another person or people. How could these two opposites be used to describe one action? The answer may be in the fact that while we have all been physically apart, we really have been together the entire time. When you began your high school journey 4 years ago as the class of 2020, you learned how to work collaboratively, formed great partnerships with classmates and staff, and learned a lot about yourselves and the mechanics of what it is to grow up. Last fall, when you embarked upon a traditional senior year, there still were exams to take, papers to write, athletic, dramatic, and academic competitions in which to take part. But none of us could have seen what was coming. You have had to reinvent yourselves. You needed to rethink how your work was conducted. You needed to find alternative ways to succeed. You needed to dig deep within yourselves and draw upon the reserve of inner strength that perhaps you didn't know you had. And while you did much of this work independently, you all traveled the same road together, reaching out to each other, connecting on projects together, collaborating, but just in a different way. I am here to tell you, the class of 2020, that you learned a lot more than math calculations and term papers in your final semester with us. You have learned the value and the power of perseverance, strength, and resiliency. Clearly, the experiences of each member of the class of 2020 may be unique to each of you, but there are some lessons that you all share and will use for the rest of your lives. And I'd like to conclude with a few of these as we send you out on the next part of your journey. Number one, you are not alone. Clearly, a lesson we have all learned most recently. We all must appreciate the fact that there are others who are perhaps going through the exact same thing that we are at any given moment. And remember that there is strength in numbers. 2, draw upon your inner strength. You know it's there. When things seem difficult, remember you've got this and you can do it. 3, keep the tools of faith and trust close by. Those will help you when you are uncertain about what lies ahead. And finally, number 4, you are ready. You have managed to successfully complete 13 years of schooling, including the unprecedented challenges that we've recently faced. You've challenged yourself in all that you've done, and you have proven to us that you are ready. Class of 2020, we all will be watching you from afar. I wish you great success and fortitude, and we, the entire Milford community, offer our gratitude and congratulations to you. Thank you, good luck, be safe, and Godspeed. So tonight I have the honor of introducing our valedictorian. He is not here tonight, but it is so important to recognize his accomplishments and celebrate him together. It does give me great pleasure to announce that Mr. Andre Jin is the valedictorian for the Joseph A. Foran High School class of 2020. Ranking first in the class of 227, Andre has completed the most rigorous collection of courses, including 11 advanced placement courses in calculus, English literature and composition, macroeconomics, physics 2, psychology, U.S. history, English language, European history, physics 1, statistics, and government and politics. Notably, all of the courses Andre took during his senior year were at the advanced placement level. He was named an AP Scholar with Distinction in 2019 by the College Board. And during his years at Foran, Andre earned a wide variety of awards for academic excellence. In 2019, he received the Yale Book Award and the STEM Excellence Medal for outstanding performance in mathematics and science from Fairfield University and Sikorsky Aircraft. He also received the Rensselaer Excellence in Math and Science Medal in 2019 and served as a representative of Foran High School at MathCon 2019, winning an honorable mention. He also was selected to serve as a member of the Junior Honor Guard at last year's commencement ceremony at Foran High School. Andre was admitted to both the National Honor Society and the Mu Alpha Theta Math Honor Society in 2018. He was also recognized for completing the Electrical and Computer Engineering Young Engineering Science Scholars module as a part of the Explore Engineering E2 program at UConn in 2019. Beyond his academic responsibilities, Andre has been an enthusiastic participant in extracurricular activities. As a member of the Foran Science Olympiad team, Andre participated in several events across the region, with his team placing first for their Circuit Lab project in 2020 at the Sacred Heart University Olympiad Invitational. He was a member of the Foran Mathletes Club, the Foran Orchestra, and was a member of Foran's student government. Mr. Jin will attend the University of Connecticut in the fall, where he plans to pursue a degree in science and engineering. Please join me in congratulating Mr. Andre Jin, our valedictorian for the class of 2020 at Joseph A. Foran High School. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce our salutatorian. Ms. Brianna Aguilar is the salutatorian for the Joseph A. Foran High School class of 2020. Brianna ranked second in a class of 227. She has exhibited an outstanding interest in academics, as well as representing her school in a variety of leadership roles and activities. During the past 4 years, Brianna chose to pursue a strong mix of academic interests, including a cadre of Level 1 and advanced placement courses. She successfully completed 9 AP courses, including Biology, Calculus BC, English Literature and Composition, European History, Statistics, Chemistry, English Language, Psychology, and Government and Politics. What an impressive list. Of her many achievements, Brianna was the recipient of the Harvard Book Award and was named an AP Scholar with Honor. In 2019, she was named a National Hispanic Recognition Scholar and a finalist in the Questbridge National College Match Program. Brianna was a member of the National Honor Society and the Math Honor Society, serving as vice president at Foran. She also participated in the Yale Young Global Scholars Program in 2018. She will graduate with distinction, having volunteered more than 200 hours across the community in a variety of capacities. Brianna demonstrated her leadership at Foran, serving as a captain of the Foran High cheerleading team. In 2019, she received the All-American Cheerleader Award. She also served as president of both the Science Olympiad team and the Medical Career and Professions Club at Foran. She was also a member of the school's Key Club, Mathletes, Social Awareness Club, World Culture Club, DECA, and Foreign Innovative Thinkers. Ms. Aguilar will attend the University of Pennsylvania in the fall and plans to major in biochemistry and biophysics. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Ms. Brianna Aguilar, salutatorian of the class of 2020.
Hi, everyone. Before I start, I want to thank all the families and friends who are here, as well as those who were unable to come because of social distancing rules. Thank you to Foran's faculty and the Milford community. We couldn't have done this without your endless support, especially during times like these. To my classmates, I congratulate you all on accomplishing this huge milestone. We're graduating, we did it. I'm not sure what it is, but I can encapsulate many memories and experiences into this word, as I'm sure many of you can. While it may seem that our hard work was wasted because we cannot fully enjoy our last parts of childhood, I want to emphasize that our accomplishments and dedication are not annulled. The stress that came from balancing schoolwork, sports, jobs, extracurriculars, and your mental health is starting to pay off. Under unfavorable circumstances, we are still graduating. We did it. We have much to be grateful for and much more to look forward to. As a class, we have experienced the hardships that came along with COVID together. However, we have all had to jump over different hurdles. We have different backgrounds, different experiences, and different mindsets that have all played a role in our own stories. My story starts with my brave parents. They immigrated to the U.S. from Mexico, chasing the American dream. They left all they knew to provide me and my siblings with opportunities greater than anything they could ever dream of. This sacrifice alone has been my biggest motivator to succeed and take advantage of all the opportunities I have been gifted with. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for leaving everything to give me it all. To the immigrant families there, I'm proud of you, and you all motivate me to be better. Even with a determined mindset, there were still barriers that prevented me from fulfilling my dreams. Being a first-generation student in America, I went through many experiences with extremely limited knowledge. My parents helped me the most they could, but many things were new to them too. I remember in preschool, my only friend was my brother because I only spoke Spanish. The language barrier was definitely present, but nonetheless, I eventually made friends. As I became more exposed to the American norms, I became more conscious of myself, conscious of having an accent, of making grammar mistakes, of speaking in my native tongue, of showing my culture, of being Mexican, of being me. Stereotypes, racism, and prejudice were among the other barriers placed in my story from the second I was born. I grew up hearing the negative stereotypes about Mexicans, immigrants, and people of color, and I was easily influenced by these harmful generalizations. I feared the possibility of people associating me with these stereotypes. I did everything in my power to please my white counterparts so they would not attribute them to me. For those who are in minority groups, there is constant pressure to be perfect because if not, we give evidence to these racist ideas that minorities are less. However, it is not a person of color's job to be perfect and represent an entire group of people. We have the right to make mistakes just like any other human. As I matured, I realized there is nothing wrong with my ethnicity. I grew proud of my culture and my entire identity. The flaws are not in me, they are in the narrow mindset of society. Minorities constantly hearing negative stereotypes and assumptions about them breeds a culture of destructive thinking in people of color in which we often reject our own identities because of the push for cultural accommodation and unequal assimilation. I talk about this to encourage you guys to step out of your comfort zones, break these patterns, and stray away from negative norms, just as I was able to do. Do not believe stereotypes. When I say words such as Mexican, first generation, low income, female, minority, all of which describe me, many stereotypes can come into your mind, not even considering the fact that these may not be true. So many people buy into these ideas, causing deeply rooted misunderstandings between cultures. Stereotypes are not defining. We cannot be limited by them. We are all complex. I am a proud Latina that will be the first in my family to attend college, despite the many barriers in my own story. Following the trend of taking advantage of opportunities, I'm going to bring attention to injustices seen in today's society. While we are here today to celebrate our own graduation, there are many who will never be able to. People of color, especially those in the Black community, are falling victim to police brutality and systemic oppression. Trayvon Martin and Tamir Rice will never be able to graduate. While many of us have acknowledged the undisguised racism in our nation, not enough of us have begun to care about the many covert instances of internalized racism in our own community. People should not have to die to bring our attention to issues that do not affect ourselves. These are only a few instances, but there are thousands of others who have lost their opportunity to education and life because of toxic, deeply rooted racism and systemic oppression. Do not forget these people. Always remember them and acknowledge that we all have some form of privilege to be able to be here and celebrate. As we enter the real world, I want to remind everyone, we are capable of being influential people. We are capable of creating change. We have voices and can make advances if we have the means to. We are loud and we will be heard and not silenced. On that note, remember to vote. Action is necessary for change and we do have the power to do so. We are the generation that will make this world a better place, not for rewards or praise, but because we are passionate and will do the right thing. Before I end, I would like to share some other advice I have learned throughout my high school experience. Do not do things in hopes of a reward. Incentives may be incredibly motivating, but give no meaning or joy to your actions. Seek things in life that will make you happy and that will leave a positive impact not just on yourself. Continue learning, stay informed, and avoid ignorance as knowledge is power. Build and maintain strong relationships. Do not be restricted by societal norms or limitations, and please always strive for diversity and inclusion. If there's one thing you remember from high school, I hope it is to take advantage of your opportunities. I wish you all luck in your future endeavors. I can't wait for us to succeed and build our own lives. Congratulations to the Foran class of 2020. Thank you.
Thank you, Brianna. Since this is a different type of year with multiple graduation ceremonies, we were able to expand the amount of students that have an opportunity to share their thoughts with the rest of the graduating class. Normally during our senior scholarship night, the fourth-ranked student in the class gives a speech to their classmates. Since we did not have an in-person graduation, we're in-person graduation. Since we didn't have an in-person scholarship ceremony, I asked Anna Lee Melton, the fourth-ranked student in the class, to speak to her fellow graduates tonight. Anna Lee is an amazing student who is engaged in an extremely rigorous course load, excelling in numerous advanced placement classes. She's an energetic and enthusiastic member of the school community. participating in multiple extracurricular activities such as the Key Club, World Culture Club, Youth in Government, and Natural Helpers. She also demonstrated hard work, strong leadership, and talent as the captain of the soccer team. Ladies and gentlemen, Anna Lee Melton.
Good evening. First off, I'd like to thank all of our teachers, administrators, and parents for helping guide us during our time together at Foran. After almost 4 years together and what has felt like 4 years apart, we have finally made it to the finish line. Having odds stacked against us taught us things a traditional senior year could not. First off, weather forecasts are never accurate. Secondly, I personally learned how to complete a full day of school without setting foot out of bed. But in reality, quarantine has helped to show us the strength that we have individually and as a community. Different experiences throughout our high school careers have helped us to see our potential as individuals. Spanish was one class that always came as a challenge to me. I remember sitting in Spanish class about halfway through sophomore year, completely discouraged and overwhelmed. I was genuinely unsure if I was going to pass Spanish. Happily, I did. Although this class most certainly did not help my GPA, I can attest to the fact that it increased my stamina for learning. My experience in Spanish helped me understand the importance of struggles in order to grow as an individual. As we go forth into a new chapter of our lives, we should not shy away from struggles, but instead embrace them in order to become stronger. We will inevitably make mistakes within the next 4 years of our lives, whether it's missing a deadline at work or bombing an exam in college. Regardless of what the mistake may be, we should not dwell on what we cannot change. We will be unable to strive for future success if we are stuck in the past. As Albert Einstein once said, a person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. When taking on our next adventures in life, be sure to find chaos. We will not grow if we never break away from our daily routines. We should step out of our comfort zones in order to discover new passions and interests. We will learn from every adventure that we take, regardless of the outcome. We should not wait around for opportunities to find us, but instead seek those adventures that we would not experience in a typical day. Some of the best advice I received in high school was from our psychology teacher, Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams would often talk about our futures after high school and say, "Don't take yourselves too seriously." When I first heard this advice, I remember thinking, if I don't take myself too seriously, I'll be outdone by my peers, and I simply disregarded his suggestion. As he repeated this same advice throughout the year, I began to give it more thought. I came to the realization that people often take themselves too seriously in order to create a perfect image of themselves to impress others. Regardless of the effort we put into creating and maintaining a so-called perfect image of ourselves, it is impossible to be liked by everyone we encounter. We should take Mr. Williams' advice and not take ourselves too seriously. Instead of striving to impress others around us, we should do what brings us joy. As we enter our future endeavors, we are going to be surrounded by new faces, well, at least at a 6-foot distance. Embrace the people you meet with kindness. Those of you I have gotten to know within the past 4 years at Foran have all played an important role in the person I am today. You have all taught me the value of having positive relationships with your peers. As we enter into our futures, let us remember to surround ourselves with people who will better us and motivate us to be the people we strive to become. I am certain you will all do great things, and thank you for making my high school experience so memorable. Good luck in your futures.
Thank you, Anna Lee. Class of 2020, what a year this has been, no doubt. Back in August, no one could have ever imagined that your senior year could end this way. The unexpected and unprecedented school building closures and move to distance learning was surprising at first, with many of us initially thinking that we would be only away from Foran for a very short period of time. Then as time went on, the realization set in that we weren't returning this year, which was very disappointing to all of us at Foran, especially the class of 2020. While this physical separation from Foran was not something that any of us could ever wanted, every life experience provides a chance to learn, to think, and to reflect. This particular experience provided us the gift of time and an opportunity to gain and shift perspective. When you reflect on your high school experience, especially in the last few months, and observe how the world has changed around you, your thoughts about what's important to you and what you value may have evolved quite a bit. Events in our community, throughout the nation, and the entire world have provided us all an opportunity to pause, to reflect, and to gain perspective. Being physically apart from your school, away from your friends and teachers for a period of time has allowed you an opportunity to reflect on what's truly important to you, what you value, and what you're grateful for. Life is sometimes filled with setbacks and moments of adversity. However, these experiences give us a chance to grow, to persevere, and move forward with a renewed sense of all the important things in life. When unexpected or life-altering events occur, we all have a choice of how to respond. While things may presently seem difficult, frustrating, or uncertain, I encourage you to view these moments as an opportunity for growth, to learn about yourself and gain a fresh perspective on the things that are important to you. Author Robert Rosen said that self-reflection entails asking yourself questions about your values, assessing your strengths and failures, thinking about your perceptions and interactions with others, and imagining where you want to take your life in the future. This quote emphasizes the importance of being open to reflection and open to gaining and sometimes changing perspective, which is essential in the world that we live in today. I encourage you to keep learning, continue to listen with an open mind and heart, and respect and consider different thoughts and opinions. Over the last 4 years, you've matured, you've learned, you've changed, and have begun to discover who you are and what you believe. Continue to strive for a deeper understanding of yourself and a greater appreciation of other perspectives. Be patient, kind, and forgiving of yourself as well as others. Throughout your life, you'll undoubtedly experience many successes, but there will also be times when you fail. This is part of life. Most importantly, always pick yourself up, keep moving forward, and do not stray from your core values and character. Class of 2020, always stay true to yourself and let your character guide you. Work hard, stay grounded and humble. Take care of your family and friends and show people gratitude and grace. Be optimistic, hopeful, and open to learning more and listening to different perspectives. Wherever you go and whatever you do, may you always carry with you the bonds you have formed and the memories you have made at Foran High School. I hope that you'll look back on your high school experience with a lot of lion pride. I'm so happy for you, and I'm very honored to have been your principal. Thank you for being an amazing class. I wish you a life full of happiness and tremendous success in the future. Thank you. Ms. Glennon and members of the Board of Education, these members of the graduating class of 2020 have completed all school board requirements for a diploma from Joseph A. Foran High School. It is now my pleasure to ask Isabel Masor, the treasurer of the senior class, to share some thoughts with her fellow graduates and then call the class roll.
Hello. It is my pleasure to welcome my fellow Foran graduates, parents, administrators, and faculty. Although these last few months of our senior year were not traditional, we persevered with the work we were given and even graduated during a pandemic. I'm speaking for the graduating class of 2020 when I say that we would like to thank the entire Foran faculty and staff for your endless hard work and guidance throughout our 4 years in high school. It might seem like the end, but graduation is not an end goal in itself. It is instead a part of the larger journey of life. Wherever your future takes you, let it take you somewhere. Life is a journey, and all accomplishments we achieve during its course should be taken as starting points for future achievements. Today means different things to each of us. To some, it comes as a feeling of welcome relief. To others, accompanied with a feeling of nostalgia as we look back on good times and the friends we've made. Most of us are looking into the future with anticipation and perhaps some apprehension. We are concerned about what to do with our lives. But whether we go to college, enter a branch of the armed forces, or begin a career, we should remember that we can do work grudgingly or we can do work gratefully. The satisfaction we derive from the life work we choose depends on our attitude towards it. So thank you all, and it is now my honor to announce the class roll.
First row, please stand up.
Brianna Aguilar. Anna Lee Melton. Gianfranco Lorenzo Menta. Abigail Sage Mitchell. Ariana Elise Montero. Megan Erin Moladowney. Matthew Paul Mullen. Julia Sage Munn. Bashar Imad Musalam. Kevin Keyshawn Nelson. Timothy Xavier Nicolia. Lauren Elizabeth Neiman. Nicole Catherine North. Emma Rose Nolan. Isabella Jean O'Brien. Sean Patrick O'Connor. Clea Madeline O'Neill. Jacob Aaron Achman. Jason John Alexevich. Caden Leo Ondeck. Kaylee Ann Osborne. Dylan Tyler Olette. Gavin Connor Paith. Rebecca Ann Palermo. Katara Rian Paquette. Sean Hyun-Seo Park. Dana Elizabeth Parrott. Gavin Daniel Paul. Trevor Joseph Parati. William Walter Phelan. Nicholas Andrew Phillips. Isabella Grace Pietrasanti. Samuel Reese Poffenberger. Hannah Grace Pokernowski. Sarah Ivy Portoff. Zoe Lynn Pringle. Max Logan Kadas. Patrick James Rachansky. Renee Alexis Robles. John Nicholas Ross. Matthew Neil Rothschild.
Real nice job. Good. It's fine. Real nice job. Slade. And just line up. Don't call your name. And Isabel Kellyanne Mesor. And while Isabel is getting her picture taken, one last housekeeping message I have to announce. At the conclusion of the ceremony, once again, please remember that masks should be worn and social distancing of 6 feet should continue. For our guests in the bleachers, please allow for the ushers to dismiss you from your seats. All graduates and guests are asked to properly leave school grounds so we can remain compliant with public health recommendations. All right, well, let's hear it for our class of 2020. Very impressive group of young people, very impressive. Class of 2020, you persevered, you worked hard, and you deserve to celebrate. Your future is so bright, we're so proud of you. Congratulations once again to the Foran High School class of 2020. Graduates, turn your tassels from right to left, please. And now, please stand for the Foran High School alma mater. Congratulations to the class of 2020. Graduates, wave your caps and celebrate. We're proud of you. Let's hear it once again for the class of 2020.